Hi there. So we are going to talk about how to manage a case. So first, we're going to actually start in the email inbox. So when someone issues an alert on a student and you are the assigned person, you're going to get an email. That email is going to say the subject line is going to say case assigned, what the alert is, and then the student's name. So this is a success coaching referral alert for Dom the Eagle. And then it says the sender is the person that issued the alert. And then down here, a case has been assigned to you. This is the name of the student. The alert reason was success coaching referral issued by Natalie Vaccaro. And then you can click here to view the case details. So that's what we're going to do. So it's going to take us to navigate. We're going to log in, and you're going to use your same username and password that you use for MyAU, Canvas, and Outlook. So we're going to log in here. And then it takes us to our homepage, which if we go back to our email and then we click case details, then it opens right up to the case. So if you're already logged in, it'll open it right on up. And then if you're not logged in, there is another way to find it. So you can log in and then hit it again, and then we'll find the other way in a second. So right here, Dom the Eagle is the student, the reason, success coaching referral. There's not an owner assigned to the case, but then you are the assigned person for the case. So the owner versus the assignee, there's not a super big difference. If we were a larger campus and we had, a whole team of people to do different things, then I would be the owner, and then I can assign it to someone that works in my office or department. But since we all are kind of one-man bands, we're just going to leave it as that. With the exception of financial aid, you can choose yourself as the owner and then assign it to one of the other financial aid coordinators. So that is the only exception for right now. And this is just sort of a timeline of what happened. So Natalie, it says she assigned the case to me, but it just happens automatically since I'm the only person for that case. It opens a case for the student when the alert is being issued. And then Natalie's comment was Dom could use some help in several areas. And then I did add myself as an owner to see if it made any difference. It really didn't. And then I removed myself. So that is where you can see the case itself. If you hit this X button here. So the other way to find cases, so if you do go to navigate and maybe you're not already logged in when you open your email. So let's go back here. So this is your home page. And if you click right over here on this left-hand side, the panel, cases is the 5th one down. You hit cases. And then from here, you can see the cases that are assigned to you, and it has all the details. So the student name, the case is open, reason, the date, who it was done by, and then it says updated because I've changed my ownership of it. But if you were to add any more comments or anything, it'll also say updated here. So the steps that we want you to take, of course, read your email, go into Navigate to see more details about the case. And then your next step would be reaching out to the student. So the email that the student receives does tell them to reach out to you, but our expectations for you to also reach out to the student, because we know sometimes students aren't always going to take that initiative when it comes to like emailing or calling or showing up or setting up a meeting with somebody. So you can go to the student's profile. Since Dom isn't a real student, he doesn't have a lot of information here. But ideally, you would click on the history, maybe see what sort of things Dom has been up to, maybe see what kind of classes Dom is enrolled in, see what their midterm grades are looking like or their final grades, depending on what point of the semester it is when the alert is issued. So just kind of do a background check on like what the student has going on. And then over here, you would say, I want to message the student. So you can send them an email or a text, and then you would say like, hey, I would, maybe leave it as something broad. So just checking in. Hi there, your instructor has expressed some concern about your course progress. And then this would be changed, of course, for the alert that you are in charge of. I would like to meet with you and talk about a success. Now, here is my meeting link. I'd add that there. Looking forward to talking to you. Or let's say meeting with you. Boom. So then I would send this email to Dom. And then that way, I'm not going to send it right now, but just as an example. So you write this up, hey, just want to meet, just want to check in, send this email. And then the student will then ideally set up a meeting with you, and you would talk to the student, have a meeting with the student. So let's say I did meet with Dom. We had a great conversation. We figured out what was going on. He was just having some issues with his time management. And so then once you do have a meeting with the student, you would do the appointment summary in Navigate, if you are using Navigate to schedule meetings. For those of you that are listening that do not use Navigate to schedule meetings, then ideally what you would do would be go to the case, hit manage, and then you can add your comment down here. And this can be very, pretty vague. Met with the student and discuss some strategies for success. And pointed him to sources on campus. Boom. So that way you can add a comment. So for those of you that do use Navigate for meetings, please use the meeting scheduling feature in the appointment summary feature to add in your meeting notes, but then also add in a comment about the case. That way the person that issued the case can just get like a follow-up on, was the student actually met with, what happened after I did my alert, those sorts of things. So then you'd say I met with the student and we talked about this, or you don't even have to go that far. You can just say I met with the student, depending on your take on your privacy issues and those sorts of things. So that is how that would go. And then you would close the case. So then up here, it asks, what was the outcome? So there's a few different things. So like ideally, we would want the student to reach out and set up a meeting, and then you would meet with them, they show up to the meeting, and then you have, something to report back. In the case that the student didn't respond to your outreach, and then we don't have a set limit yet on how many times, I'd say give your best judgment, let's say at least 2 or 3. If the student just isn't responding, let's say email and text as a way to reach out to the student. So you can choose that. Student met with someone, student took the recommended action. Administrative close is not for you to use, that's for us to use at the end of the school year. And then student contacted, no follow-up needed. So if the student didn't really have, depending on the issue, if the student didn't have anything that was very serious that needed to be discussed, you can say you talked to them and there was nothing that really needed to be done after the fact. But that'll depend on the alert reason that you're in charge of. So yeah, student met, we met, made a plan, and then submit. All right, and then everything is updated. So it added both of my comments there, and then the student case was closed, student met with someone, and then you can just exit out. So then it will disappear because you don't have any more open cases. So now Natalie should receive an email saying that Maya Tillman has closed the case, and then it'll say that Maya has met with a student. That way the faculty member that issued the alert, it comes full circle. So they issue the alert, you get it, you talk to the student, you say what happened with the student, I met with them, things are going great, we figured something out. And then the person, it gets back to the original person that issued the alert saying, yes, this student was taken care of, thanks so much for issuing the alert and using our system. So that is basically how you manage the case. Those are the steps that we want you to take. So read your emails, go look at the cases and Navigate, reach out to the student, meet with the student, and then add your comments of what happened after that meeting, close the case, and then you don't have to email the person. Navigate will do that in the system automatically. And then just as a final thing, so if you were wanting to know what the email looks like from the student standpoint, so the subject line, which this one, the subject line is you have a notification in Navigate. So that way we wanted to keep it very broad, so that way they just know something is going on. We don't want to scare them by saying you have an alert in Navigate. And then down here, so hi Dom, you've received this email because your instructor is concerned about your progress towards successfully completing, let's say Bio 111, and that's general biology. To develop a plan for success, we encourage you to set up a meeting with Maya Tillman, one of our success coaches on campus. Click here to set up an appointment with me. So they can take the initiative right here in the email that they get once the alert is issued, but then we think it's best practice to follow up as well, because we know everyone's not going to do that. So up to you, depending on if the student reaches out, give them some time to reach out to you first. And if they don't within like a day or two, go ahead and reach out to them. And then just my email signature. And then they can click here to log in to Navigate, so they can do something to Navigate, or they can just click here and that just takes them straight to my availability to set up a meeting. And we have that set up for everyone that has alerts in the system. That way people are able to set up meetings and go from there straight from the email that they get. Instead of having to wait for an email for someone to reach out to them, they can take that initiative, which is what we want them to do. So that is the case management process in Navigate. Sorry, this video was a little longer, but wanted to make sure we included all the details that you need to properly manage a case. And we are hoping for the best with this system and this process, and we'll go from there. So thanks so much for watching and have a great day.